Good afternoon, Chair Greene, Ranking Member Stansberry, and members of the subcommittee. My name is Fatima Goss Graves, and I'm President and CEO at the National Women's Law Center. We've been around since 1972, when Title IX was first enacted, and we've been working to create equal opportunity for women and girls in sports and in society ever since. Women and girls face many obstacles to equal opportunity in sports: fewer financial resources than men's programs, worse facilities, endemic sexual abuse. And student athletes facing these persistent inequities are among the more than 12,000 people who have complained about discrimination in school, but who actually really can't pursue justice because the Trump administration has laid off half the staff whose jobs at the Department of Education it was to respond to these complaints. Students, including disabled kids, survivors of campus sexual assault, and other forms of discrimination, are now basically in a situation where their complaints are being warehoused. So for over 50 years, the National Women's Law Center has been fighting for equality and will continue to fight until every girl has the same chance to play as everyone else. And as an expert on women's rights in sports and in society, I want to be clear here. Transgender women do not pose a threat to women's sports. Transgender women belong in sports. And I'm here because I care about all women and girls in sport. And I know that bullying trans kids and creating panic about the existence of trans people will not make us safer. It won't solve any of the problems that I named about inequity in sports. And the fixation on harming trans kids, it will not fix the problems of the American people. Because at the National Women's Law Center, we hear from people every day about the real problems that they are facing. They're concerned about reproductive freedom. They're struggling to put food on the table. They're agonizing about how to care for aging loved ones. Hardworking folks around the country, from Texas to Georgia to Tennessee to California, we hear from folks who are worried that there is a budget in this Congress that would demolish programs like SNAP, Head Start, Medicaid, and generally make their lives harder. And they're looking for an end to attacks on schools, on health care, child care, on workplace safety. Instead, over the last few years, there has been this nonstop effort to convince the public that including transgender women in sports harms cisgender women and harms all people in society. But anti-trans sports bans, they actually harm all women. And I have just a few examples that I want to name. For example, denying trans kids the chance to find teammates who have their back, that's harmful. Or harassing Black and brown women and girls for not being, feminine enough, that's harmful. School officials secretly investigating girls' gender to make sure that they are feminine enough to play, that is harmful and that is dangerous, and yes, those things are already happening. For example, after Utah passed a trans sports ban, a state school board member posted a picture of a high school student athlete on social media, suggesting that she was transgender. She was not. But she faced such intense cyberbullying and threats to herself and to her family, they had to actually get police protection. So as President and CEO of the National Women's Law Center, it could not be more clear to me. Anti-trans bans, they hurt all women. They're wrong. We won't let them be enacted in the name of protecting women, because they don't protect women. They harm us all, and it's discrimination, period. And if the subcommittee wants to defend women, the National Women's Law Center definitely has ideas about that, ideas that will actually help. Ideas that will combat the real threats to women and girls' safety and equality today. Trans women in sports, it's just not one of them. Thank you.